Hi, I'm Hazel, and today I want to show you my recipe for iced gingerbread cookies. Now that it's December, it's officially the acceptable season to be making these and sometimes eating them for breakfast. Start to finish, this recipe usually takes me about an hour and a half, with maybe 20 to 30 minutes of that being actually doing stuff. For equipment, you'll need one big mixing bowl and a smaller one, an electric mixer, or if you don't have one, you can use a whisk and a big spoon, one rolling pin, or if you don't have that, you can improvise with a clean bottle, one or more cookie cutters, or if you don't have those, you can just use a cup. We'll need a cookie sheet that's either greased or lined with baking parchment, a couple of cooling trays. Last, for decorating, you want either a big Ziploc style storage bag and a pair of scissors, or if you're feeling fancy, you can use a piping bag with a tip. For the cookie ingredients, we'll need 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 3/4 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of cloves, 3 tablespoons of molasses, 1 cup of room temperature butter or margarine. You can either take it out of the fridge an hour or two before you start, or if you're like me and you forget every time, you can soften it with 10 to 20 seconds in the microwave. And 1 egg. If you remember to bring the butter out early, you can pull the egg out with it, or if you forget, don't worry about it too much. For the frosting ingredients, we'll need 2 egg whites, 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 3.5 cups of icing sugar. And last, I like to decorate my gingerbread cookies with candy. Today, I have M&Ms. At home in Canada, I use Smarties. You could also use Kiss-style chocolates, mints, sprinkles, or whatever you want, really. Alright, let's go! In our small bowl, mix together the flour, baking soda, cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. In the big bowl, cream together the butter and sugar until they're smooth. Then, mix in the egg and molasses. Gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet and then mix until you've got a crumbly dough. Cover your bowl and chill for 20 to 30 minutes in the fridge. You can preheat your oven to 350 degrees. After your dough is chilled, dust your rolling pin and surface with flour. You can roll your dough out on a clean countertop, but I like to use a cutting board. Roll out your dough in sections. If it's really flaky and not rolling very well, you can squish it in your hands for a minute to make it more workable. Roll the dough out until it's just under 1/4 inch thick. Cut your cookies, slide them onto your sheet, and bake for roughly 9 minutes. You want the edges to be set and just starting to brown. Super thin cookies will bake faster, while thick ones can take up to 15 minutes. Make sure that you're checking through the window with the oven light and not opening the oven to look. When they're done, slide them onto the cooling trays and keep baking until you've made a bunch of cookies. Once you've got some cooled cookies feeling all naked, it's time to make the frosting. In a clean bowl, beat the egg whites until they're frothy. Add the cream of tartar and beat until it's firm but not dry. When it starts to form peaks when you pick up your beater, it's good. Add the icing sugar gradually, beating between each addition. If it gets really thick at this point, you can add a teaspoonful of milk or cream to smooth it out. Once it's smooth, scoop the icing into your bag right away and snip off a corner. It's going to start hardening once exposed to air, so if you leave it in the bowl, you're gonna have a problem. You can pipe it onto your cookies as beautifully or haphazardly as you like. I've always been more about eating cookies than looking at them, so I kinda just goop it on here. Before the icing dries, decorate with your candy. You can do it by yourself working fast, but that's easiest if you have somebody to help. So that's how I do it. Gingerbread is my favorite holiday treat, and I love it so much that I actually make it all year. These cookies are great just off the tray, or what I like to do is I actually freeze them and then I eat them out of the freezer. It's like they melt in your mouth like snowflakes or, cookies. That's just what I do. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Tweet me some pictures if you decided to make these, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!